Welcome back, punters, to the Sunday episode of the Slants Punts. Through Thursday games, a little bit of recap. We were on Rams -1. That line ended up closing 2.5 and -3 in some places. So we beat the line there, which is quite nice, which we thought we would. And team total over 27.5. That line closed a flat 28, which is 4 touchdowns. So that was another nice line to beat. We went 1-1 in the game, but to be honest, felt like we kind of had the game pretty worked out, which sucks to only go 1-1 on that. Rams, first half, they throw an end zone interception, which would have pushed us over the team total too. Their defense played pretty well. And then they scored, 23 points in the second half after scoring 3 in the first. And that's the Rams offense that was always going to light up the Seahawks defense, who just were terrible. To the Seahawks credit, their defense came through in the first half. And then after that, kind of just got blown apart. So niggly to go 1-1 in a game that we felt like we read really, really well, and beat the closing lines. But hey, I mean, you can only do what you can do. They still won the game quite nicely. Those people make arguments that the Seahawks lost Russell, so blah, blah, blah. But I mean, to be honest, they probably look better with Gino in there. Niggly, we go 1-1 and we move on. So the bets we're still riding are New England team total over 24. That line sitting at about 24 in most places, and then some places 24.5. So that's the line that we're running at the moment, as well as Detroit Lions over 17.5 team total. That line sitting quite similar. In some places it's moved up to 18 or higher. So there's only 2 additional plays that I have for this week. Not a whole lot of things have sort of deterred me from the opening lines that I kind of liked. One of the games that I do like is Miami team total under 17.5. Now, I'm not generally a big fan of taking unders on a team that could quite easily be backdoor team totals because they're chasing points, much like I'm doing with the Lions. I think that they could backdoor points late and put them over totals. I certainly don't think they're going to score 17 in the first half, but if they score 7 in the first, I think that they could get 3 late. So all they're going to do is find another 7 somewhere. But I think this Tampa Bay defense is just incredible. Now, my one worry is that they're still missing, they'll be missing Carlton Davis, who's one of their defensive leaders, which is a bit annoying, but they did show towards the end of the game I could still play without him. It's more so this D-line is just incredible. They're going to really struggle to move the ball, Miami, and they just don't have a whole lot of playmakers. Will Fuller's back on IR for the 50th time in his career, and they don't have a run game that's going to do anything against the Tampa Bay run defense. So where they're getting their points, Jacoby Brissett's going to have to really, really play well and sling the ball for them to move the ball at all. So I think this is a flat 17 game. So if we can go under 17.5, I like it. It's on Bet365 at the moment, $1.86. This Tampa Bay team could just control absolutely everything. And I think that they've got the players that will want to keep playing late, much like they did against New England. And New England played, to be fair, they were pretty lucky to get the amount of points that they did. And I don't think Miami offense is any better than that. So, I think Tampa Bay absolutely steamrolled this game. I know they took the -2, but it's just too high of a minus for me to like. So Miami under 17.5 total points. The other game I don't mind is the Washington Saint under 43.5 team total points. It's another low line, much like the Chicago line we took the other week, which you're not a big fan of, but there's set to be a little bit of bad weather through the day in Washington. I also think that this could be a little bit of a closer game than people think. I think the Saints aren't going to try win games like the Saints of old. They're going to try grind teams out through the run game. Kamara's getting a big bulk of the workload. Antonio Gibson's got a stress fracture he's playing through at the moment. So I think this game's going to be a very, very big chess match. The only way I can see it losing is if they make huge plays, which is possible. But long term, you're back against long plays that are going to just get lucky and fluke. And it's a low total to take, but I think it's not a bad total. I could see this ending at 21-19 sort of thing, or like a 20 points to 14, that type of game. So I think it's going to be a game of chess and a lot of punts through the middle of the field. The way that I do see it losing is if they just have these big 60, 70-yard plays. Winston's been throwing for about 120 yards per game. So they're not trying to sling it, but I mean, hey, you always know that the one day you're back against it, they sort of do it. So yeah, Kamara's getting a workload, which is nice. They're using the run game a lot. There's just not a whole lot of massive offensive playmakers. Terry McLaurin's mean. But yeah, I think this will be a long game of chess. So that's it in terms of my additional plays for the week. Yeah, I think the earlier leans in the week were the ones that I kind of liked. There was nothing that popped up through the week that I minded. There wasn't a whole lot of player props as well that I was a massive fan of. And to be fair, I'm not generally a big player prop better. So last week's player props with Damien Harris and Jacoby Myers were just too good to resist based on how I thought the game was going to go. So if I do pop up with player props, it's generally on a rare occurrence. I generally try to play spreads and totals. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. Catch you probably on Tuesday for the review show.